Wei Wei received the message from her husband and felt a pang of heartache for some reason, especially after learning that her husband had conquered AIDS. You must know that back then, people feared talking about AIDS, and her husband, in order to conquer AIDS, must have come into contact with a large amount of the HIV virus. If he had accidentally been infected during the process of contact, that would be the end. Wei Wei looked at the message, then replied, "Okay, husband, I understand. I'm heading back now," after putting away her phone. Wei Wei said to the director and the assistant, "I'll end the stream directly once I get home later." The director and assistant had no objections. Moreover, the viewers of the live stream today, hearing Wei Wei's words, also didn't object. On the contrary, they were very supportive of Wei Wei. Take good care of Professor Su. How will you take care of him? Wei Wei glanced at the comments in the live stream and directly ignored them in the blink of an eye. Wei Wei arrived home. Husband, Wei Wei walked up to me with affectionate eyes and gently wrapped her arms around my neck. Seeing Wei Wei slowly approaching, I also couldn't help but cooperate. After kissing for a few minutes, I looked at Wei Wei and whispered, "Why don't we eat first?" Hearing this, Wei Wei's face blushed. She whispered, "And what about after eating?" Hearing Wei Wei say that, my old face blushed. "After eating, anything you want." Wei Wei gently hummed in agreement. Then she went to the kitchen and brought out the dishes. After sitting down, Wei Wei picked up a piece of stir-fried pork and put it near my mouth. My wife has been acting a bit strange lately. Normally, a kiss or two is fine, and giving me food is also normal. But directly putting the food to my mouth, that hasn't happened in a long time. Just as I took a bite of the stir-fried pork, Wei Wei picked up another piece of stir-fried pork and put it near my mouth. Susie looked at Wei Wei, speechless. "Are you treating me like a child?" Wei Wei chuckled and said, "You need energy after eating." What's going on with my wife these days? Just eating like that took over half an hour. After finishing, Wei Wei looked at me and said, "You go take a shower first. I'll clean up and then take a shower too." Susie went to the bathroom in the bedroom to take a shower. After Wei Wei cleaned up the dishes, she also went to shower. After showering, Wei Wei went to the storage room and found the wedding dress she wore when they got married. Then she put on the wedding dress and walked into the room. When I saw Wei Wei wearing the wedding dress, I was stunned for a moment. It's not our wedding anniversary today, but I quickly understood. The next morning until 9 o'clock, I finally got out of bed. I have to hurry up and develop the kidney tonifying candies. By this time, Wei Wei had already gone to work. After finishing breakfast, I was just about to watch some TV, when unexpectedly, someone I didn't expect came. The visitor was actually Zhao Weigu, the president of the National Bank of China. In the live stream, Zhao Weigu said to me, "Professor Su, yesterday, a new sum of 1.3 trillion yuan came in. Your total assets have reached 4 trillion yuan. If it weren't for your donation of 1 trillion yuan last year, you would have at least 5 trillion yuan in cash now." Without hesitation, I said to President Zhao, "Keep the trillion yuan and donate the rest to the country for military spending." Then I suddenly thought of something and took out my phone to call Zhongyu. After the call connected, Zhongyu smiled and asked, "Professor Su, do you miss me already after we just separated?" I laughed and said, "Come see me again when you have time. I have formulas for cold medicine and pneumonia medicine. The side effects of these formulas are negligible. For a severe cold, it can be cured in a maximum of 3 days. A mild cold can be cured in 1 day." Hearing this, Zhang Yuo said excitedly, "I'll book a flight over right away, alright? Also the hangover capsule formula we talked about before, I'll give it to you too." Hearing this, Zhang Yu said excitedly, "Okay, Professor Su, you're bringing out so many formulas at once. Once they go into mass production, I estimate you can earn tens of thousands of small targets a year." Hearing Zhang Yu's words, I said indifferently, "Someone like me is supported by the country. I'm not interested in money. I donate most of the money I earn anyway. The purpose of my research on these medicines is not only to benefit mankind, but also to drive down the prices of drugs. It would be best if those heartless pharmaceutical companies all go bankrupt." Hearing my words on the other end of the phone, Zhang Yu was deeply moved, her eyes filled with admiration. I made another call to Shen Zi, the chairman of Zihu Pharmaceutical. "President Shen, please come see me again when you have time. I've developed a medication to treat hemorrhoids. Using both external and internal medication at the same time, hemorrhoids can be cured in 7 days." Hearing this, Shen Zhao's expression changed. Currently, the hemorrhoid medications on the market are basically only effective for mild cases. Severe hemorrhoids require surgery, and both during and after surgery, it's extremely painful. Some patients describe it as pooping glass shards. But the medication Professor Su spoke of can actually cure hemorrhoids in 7 days? The value of this medicine is terrifying, you know? 9 out of 10 people suffer from hemorrhoids. Once the drug is on the market, sales will definitely skyrocket. Shenzi said quickly, "I'll book a flight now." I nodded and said, "Then that's settled." I still have a friend here. President Zhao looked at me in shock. This is going to reshuffle the pharmaceutical industry. At this moment, an unexpected situation suddenly occurred in the live stream. What the hell is going on? Why can't I suddenly type Professor Zhu's name? Me too, I can't type Professor Zhu's name. Even using symbols to separate them doesn't work. In the control room, after seeing the comments, the three directors were startled. Can't type Susie's name. The three of them tried and found that they really couldn't type the two characters Susie. Try using green bubble, the assistant said. Then the assistant sent a message to Wei with only the two words Susie. The next second, Wei frowned while staring at her phone. I didn't receive a message. The assistant was a bit confused. He clearly sent it successfully. At this moment, everyone realized that it must be the higher-ups who made a move. Then another viewer said, now, even the name of the show can't be typed. What's going on? The name of the program group also can't be typed. I just had my mom search and found that she couldn't even find it. What the live stream viewers don't know is that, in the outside news, a very important matter is being officially announced. In the control room, just as the director picked up his phone to call the investors, he received a message from President Zhu. Continue the show. The director looked at the message and asked the question in his mind, what's going on? Many people can't search for the live stream now, and Professor Zhu's name can't be searched either. President Zhu replied, the higher-ups made a move. No new viewers will enter the live stream afterwards. Only the old viewers can enter and exit freely. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just do the live stream, alright? Pay more attention to the news these 2 days. The director put away his phone and said to the live stream, just received news. The problems with the program group's name and Professor Zhu's name are because the higher-ups made a move. Viewers who have previously entered the live stream can freely enter and exit the live stream, but the live stream will no longer have new viewers. The fans in the live stream showed a look of realization. So it's the higher-ups who made a move, but why so suddenly? Professor Zhu has conquered so many diseases. It should be increasing the heat. Right, why is it being limited now? The director looked at the comments and was also very confused, and could only say everyone should watch the news more recently? Maybe you can find the answer. On the other side, the mother-in-law has also been in shock for the past 2 days. She really wants to ask her son-in-law in person. But from the current situation, if Susie knows he's being live-streamed, I'm afraid the show can't continue. At this moment, the mother-in-law had an idea and took out her phone to call her in-laws. The call was quickly answered. My dear in-laws, it's been a while. Is there anything you need today? The mother-in-law composed herself and said, I want to ask you something. Do you know who conquered cancer? On the other end of the phone, Zhu's mother chuckled. It was Zizi who conquered it. What's the matter? Hearing this, Wei's mother was speechless. Is the answer that direct? Then Wei's mother asked, what about AIDS? It was also Zizi. My dear in-laws, are you watching the show Exploring the Other Half? Yes, isn't it how you also found out that your son conquered AIDS and cancer? No, his dad and I knew about it several years ago. The reason we didn't say anything all along is because we both signed confidentiality agreements, and we can't talk about it. The mother-in-law took a deep breath. Zizi has conquered so many world problems. Aren't you surprised hearing this? Susie's mother smiled and said, not surprised. Zizi has been a prodigy since he was little. He recognized all Chinese characters at the age of 5. He was always first in his grade in school, and he was the top scorer in the National College Entrance Exam. Oh right, Zizi was fluent in 6 languages in high school. We wouldn't find anything he does strange, and he became at the age of 19. Oh, I almost forgot. I can't tell you. Hearing this, Wei's mother felt an itch in her heart. Became what at 19? Why did you only say half of it? I won't say. You'll know on October 1st. I really can't say it now. Wei's mother was extremely uneasy, according to Susie's mother. Susie seems to have an even more important secret. At this moment, in the live stream, I was toasting with President Zhao. Just as we were having a good time, both of our phones simultaneously sounded a message alert. A news alert popped up on our phones. This news was released by official media. The news headline: various lists will be released starting September 9th. Tomorrow, as September 9th, the world's rich list will be released. At almost the same time, everyone's phone also sounded an alert. Countless people saw the official media's news alert. Some people were curious. Why is the rich list being released by official media? And according to what the official media said, besides the rich list, there seem to be other lists as well. At this moment, the fans in the live stream, many of them also saw the news. Professor Zhu has 4 trillion yuan if he makes the list. The title of the world's richest will be Professor Zhu's. I think I understand now the reason why Professor Zhu and the program group's names have become forbidden words, and why no new viewers can enter the live stream is, I feel, Professor Zhu's name is very likely to appear on the list. Oh my god, if Professor Zhu appears on the rich list, I estimate the whole world will be stunned in the control room. Wei also started to look forward to it. Will Susie's name appear on the rich list? If it appears on the list, and is the world's richest, just thinking about it makes my heart flutter with excitement. Time flew by, and it was already 2 p.m. President Zhao got up to say goodbye. Professor Su, maybe your name will appear on the rich list. I smiled and didn't say anything after President Zhao left. I picked up my phone and called Minister Zhang. After the call connected, I got straight to the point. Minister Zhang, the news says the world rich list will be released tomorrow. I won't be on the list, right? On the other end of the phone, Minister Zhang laughed and said, this list is indeed related to you. The higher-ups just want to create momentum to get the world to pay attention to China. Then Minister Zhang said seriously, in recent years, China's science and technology has exploded. And in many fields, we have caught up with developed countries and have even surpassed the Western superpowers. The Chinese people are becoming more and more confident. This public release of various lists is also to further enhance national confidence. It is also a kind of deterrence to the world. At 10 a.m. the next day, the national media on phones, TVs, and other devices presented the same picture. The picture had the words World Rich List on it, and the bottom right corner showed that a list would be released every half hour. At this moment, the rich from all over the world had successively received the news that the Chinese official media would publicly announce the top 10 on the World Rich List. Everyone was wondering, why isn't there a single Chinese person in the top 10 of the World Rich List? Releasing the list will only boost other people's morale. Why are they doing this? Everyone with doubts quietly waited for the results to be announced. At this time, the powerful figures in China were calm and composed. They wanted this effect to let the whole world pay attention to China. At this moment, they looked at the time. There were still 5 minutes before the 10th place on the rich list was announced. The whole world was waiting for the first released list. As the countdown ended, the lists appeared on the TV screen one after another. 10th place, Sherblin, nationality, USA. Personal funds, $934 billion US dollars. After the 10th place was announced, the world was in an uproar. Impossible. There must be a mistake. Sherblin should be the 9th place. It's only been a few months since the last rich list. The rankings can have changed inside a manner in the USA. Sherblin looked at the list on the computer and frowned. 3 months ago, he was still 9th, but now he has actually become 10th. The personal funds in the computer are also real. Who pushed him down one spot? All the top tycoons were also looking bewildered at this moment. Inside the live stream, all the fans were going crazy. I'm commenting below, but I can't type Professor's name. I clearly know who is the world's richest, but I can't say it. I feel so uncomfortable. Me too. I commented below saying the world's richest is a Chinese person, but I was scolded by a lot of people. I'm so angry. Brothers, let's go to the official media's live stream to find fault. Let's go to the official media's live stream. In an instant, many people exited the Exploring the Other Half live stream and entered the official media's live stream. The Exploring the Other Half live stream in just 30 seconds. The number of viewers dropped from 1.5 million to 1 million. The director in the control room was stunned. People just left like that. The official media's live stream had more than 500. Zero viewers in just 30 seconds. At this moment, the number of online viewers in the official media's live stream was as high as 5 million. Many people were questioning, why is the official media releasing a list that boosts other people's morale? What benefits do we get from releasing such a list? I suggest ending the release of the list. Just then, the live stream was suddenly flooded with the same comment. The official media is releasing the list because the world's richest is a Chinese person, someone you can't even imagine. The viewers in the live stream, unaware of the truth, were stunned as they watched the comments flood in. Is this really true? For a moment, many people asked. You said the world's richest is a Chinese person. Then who exactly is he? Yes. Tell us quickly, who on earth is it? The people who knew the truth wanted to speak, but all the keywords were blocked. They couldn't say anything even if they wanted to. It was really frustrating. At this moment, the official media's live stream screen showed the list of the 9th place. 9th place, Terry Page, nationality, USA. Personal funds, $972 billion US dollars. Time slowly passed as the lists were released one after another. At this point, the 3rd place had already been announced. 3rd place, Musk, personal funds, $657 billion US dollars. Countless top tycoons were shaken. Musk was originally 2nd on the rich list, but now he had become the 3rd place. This meant that a mysterious person had entered the top 2, and might even be the new world's richest. Time slowly passed until it was time to announce the 2nd place. Everyone was guessing and discussing. The 2nd place should be the mysterious person. I'm really curious who it is. The person next to him frowned and said, I have a feeling that maybe the 2nd place is not the mysterious person. The people around him surprisingly did not refute. Looking at the current situation, anything is possible. People all over the world were staring intently at the screen in front of them. At this moment, the list for the second place slowly appeared on the screen. Second place, Bezos. American CEO of Amazon, personal funds, 914 billion US dollars. 914 billion US dollars equals 173 billion yuan when the list for the second place was released. The whole world was in an uproar at this moment in the control room. Wei Wei was extremely excited because her husband's name was about to appear in the position of the world's richest. As time slowly passed, the countdown to the announcement of the first place also began. As the countdown ended, a line of text slowly appeared on the screen. First place, Suzy. Nationality, Chinese. Personal funds, 9 trillion yuan, equivalent to 613.1 billion US dollars. Reminder, specific information about Suzy will be revealed one by one in the following lists. I looked at the reminder on the TV screen and was surprised. Wasn't it said that everything would be revealed on October 1st? Why are they revealing my identity now? Thinking of this, I took out my phone and made a call. Minister Zhang. Wasn't it said that my identity would be revealed on October 1st? Why are they now revealing it one by one in the list? Minister Zhang replied, to guide you. Your conquering of cancer, AIDS, lung and heart disease, including the newly researched hangover capsules. These medicines will be revealed one by one on the list. Also, after discussion by the higher-ups, it was decided to announce the news about the South Heaven Gate and the space-based aircraft carrier. As well, of course, it won't be said for now that these next-generation weapons were developed by you. Only these achievements will be revealed for now. Your other information will be strictly kept confidential until it is officially revealed on October 1st. Hearing this, my brow relaxed. If they only know my name, it shouldn't be too much trouble. My family and I should still be safe. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but ask, how many people are secretly protecting me? Minister Zhang hesitated for a moment and replied, there are 0 people in your city and 0 people have also been arranged in nearby cities. You don't need to worry about safety issues. Hearing this, I was completely relieved. At this moment, Minister Zhang said mysteriously, oh right, China has sent you a special gift. Your old classmate will deliver it to you tomorrow. However, before I could ask what the gift was, Minister Zhang hung up the phone. At the same time, Wei Wei in the control room also received a mysterious call. On the other end of the phone was a cold female voice. I have some relationship with Brother Su and would like to chat with you. I'm in a black business card downstairs from you, waiting for you. Wei Wei, who was still happy about her husband becoming the world's richest, suddenly frowned. What kind of relationship? The person on the other end of the phone didn't answer, but only coldly replied, let's talk when we meet. Then she hung up the phone. Immediately, Wei Wei walked out of the control room. And sure enough, there was a business car parked downstairs. As Wei Wei gradually approached, the electric door of the business car slowly slid open. A stunningly beautiful woman sat in the car, looking at Wei Wei. At the same time, Wei Wei was also sizing up the woman in the car. Was it you who called me just now? Hearing this, the stunningly beautiful woman said coldly, get in and we'll talk. Wei Wei didn't say anything further and stepped directly into the car. As the car door closed, Wei Wei noticed that there were 3 other very beautiful women sitting in the back. What do you want to talk about? And what's your relationship with my husband? The cold-faced beauty didn't even look at Wei Wei and said, Suzy has conquered cancer, AIDS, and lung and heart disease. Many people are watching him. Some people want to win him over, and many people also want to destroy him. You should understand the importance of Suzy to China. Wei Wei frowned and said coldly, you don't need to say it. I also know what you want to say. Hearing this, the cold-faced beauty said calmly, as Suzy's wife, you should know that if someone wants to threaten Suzy, the first targets will be you and your children. Hearing this, Wei Wei's expression changed drastically. Could it be that these 4 women are planning to kidnap her, to threaten Su? Thinking of this, Wei Wei immediately tried to open the car door, but the car door was locked and could not be opened at all. Then the 3 women in the back moved. Suddenly, each of them had a pistol in their hand, pointing at Wei Wei's head. Wei Wei, who originally thought the other party was a love rival, instantly turned pale. Who exactly are you? What do you want? The cold-faced beauty sized up Wei Wei and said, I just wanted to remind you. At the same time, the 3 women in the back also put away their guns. The cold-faced beauty continued, my name is Lin Yan, and I'm Suzy's colleague. At this point, Wei Wei finally breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at Lin Yan, she asked, what did you want to talk to me about? Why do you have guns? Lin Yan was silent for a moment after hearing this. Suzy is very important to the country. His work requires concentration, and he can't be distracted as his wife. You should also want him to work without any distractions. Wei Wei looked at Lin Yan and said, "My husband is researching medicines and conquering world problems. I definitely support him. I will take care of his food and living, and I'll also manage the affairs at home." Wei Wei paused and continued, "From now on, I will also not easily contact strangers." What just happened scared her. "If you really came to kidnap her today, I'm afraid I wouldn't have escaped today." Lin Yan was also silent after hearing this. She originally wanted to warn Wei Wei to make her understand the current situation, but it seems she didn't need to be warned. Wei Wei was quite sensible. Lin Yan was momentarily speechless. Seeing that Lin Yan wasn't speaking, and also seeing Lin Yan's worried expression, Wei Wei suddenly opened her mouth and said, "Do you like my husband?" Lin Yan was still silent after hearing this. Thinking of the past, she felt extremely regretful in her heart. Back then, when Susie was awarded the title of academician, she was still an ordinary researcher. She thought that when she developed intelligent mechas and intelligent robots, she would also be awarded the title of academician, and then confess her feelings to Susie. That way, they would be a good match. But her research required a lot of better materials, and these materials needed to be conquered one by one. Therefore, her research took a full 12 years. She regretted it now. If she had confessed her feelings to Susie back then, perhaps things would be different now. Moreover, the Agricultural Research Institute and the higher-ups knew that she liked Susie. Perhaps they would have even brought them together, but now it was too late to say anything. Lin Yan was silent for a moment and said, "Susie is very important to the country, and the country also needs him very much. When he's busy, I hope you can understand him. I also hope you won't disturb his work. This is a bit unfair to you, but you should understand Zhu's nature of work." Hearing this, Wei Wei smiled and said, "My husband's work is great. If it's not something particularly important, I won't disturb him." Lin Yan nodded lightly and said, "You can get off the car now when it's National Day. Let's get to know each other again." Lin Yan watched Wei Wei's retreating figure and closed the car door. Then Lin Yan said to the three women in the back, "That person just now is one of the targets you need to protect." "Understood," the three women replied in unison. At 6 p.m., Wei Wei returned home on time. "I was sitting on the sofa and smiled and said, I said I'm the world's richest. Do you believe it?" Wei Wei rolled her eyes at me. "If you were really the world's richest, then there's no justice. Which world's richest stays at home every day?